It's all good. Cool.
Picking up
Okay.
where we left off, sorry.
No, it's all good.
All right, so we're going through this tagline exercise for Taylor's website. We're helping her fix her tagline here. So with that, I mean, I know, like I said, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but what do you
Yeah.
think would make the most sense? I mean, maybe we
Well,
can
for
summarize.
sure, like it's the same. I help couples, to
I mean, based on what you told me, like
yeah,
have like an intimately intentional
yeah,
wedding
wedding
day
day. Yeah.
and avoid what?
I guess like the expectation of like traditional things on wedding days.
Okay, so I'm just gonna throw out a couple ideas.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I like I was gonna say throw away the traditional junk, but I something
Yeah.
that also Chat GPT.
Yeah. Right.
Y'all, like seriously, help me write a tagline for my website hero section, including like throwing out traditions and having an intentionally intimate wedding day. I don't know, let's just see what comes up.
Yeah.
Sometimes with chat GPT you really have to be specific to get the right results. Throwing out traditions and embracing intimacy, that's cool.
Oh, I like that.
Craft, and then you could even say as the subheading, crafting a wedding day that's truly yours.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. That
Another,
sounds better than
break the rules, keep the love. I mean, yeah, you could go on. So those are cool.
yeah.
Some ideas. Like I said, I don't hate it. I just think like there's a
It's
better
vague.
design that can
Yeah.
speak directly to your ideal client, right?
No, I completely agree. And I kind of put it there just until I could think of something better or come up with
Yeah.
something better. So I was like, well, at least because I didn't have anything there before.
Yeah.
So
Well, we love that there's something there.
yeah.
Right. Okay, cool. So let's continue. Capturing the memories that mean most to you. Okay, so this is the hook section, right? The hook is what keeps them scrolling. Essentially, with
Mm,
SEO, you want them to keep scrolling, engaging, all that fun stuff. So you got to get them engaged.
mhm,
This is where I had that other one, which was the hook. This, okay, so the formula for your hook is these two. There's two formulas. So if problem they're facing, then how you solve the problem. So if the thought of getting married in a ballroom makes you want to vomit, then
mhm.
let's go to Joshua Tree instead or something like that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one. And then formula two is let's let's get out on a mount, or let's say your vows on a mountain cliff instead of in a ballroom.
Mhm.
Those are just
Yeah.
two examples I'm tossing
Yeah.
off the top of my head with my brand.
Yeah.
But you can see some examples here too. It's a really good hook that's going to speak directly to them. And one thing I actually talk about in my course is I talk about my favorite clients that I've ever worked with and how they like loved Hans Zimmer and how we just like connected on that super randomly
Yeah.
and listened to Hans Zimmer as we're like driving through Yosemite, which is like such a niche thing. And so I was like, it'd be really cool to like relate and just get so specific even with that and say like, if you listen to movie scores while you're driving through national parks, we're going to be best friends or something
Mm,
like that. And
okay.
that's just something that was so specific with that client that I know I want more clients like that. So if I can talk to someone who that's going to resonate with and they book me, like it's a win-win because now I'm getting clients that I want to work with. So just think of something specific, right? And get them excited. That's what I would put here as your hook. And then from a design standpoint, I'm just not a huge fan of like collage images. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I feel like it doesn't serve the photos very well. Like
Well,
you,
they're really small.
yeah, like you want them to
Oh,
be bigger and just like more
yeah.
beautiful, like to see. So whether that's like having two images, that are vertical and
Okay.
take up a lot of page real
Yeah.
estate, um, and then those that truly like also kind of reinforce the hook that you're talking about here too. So that's where you really want it to resonate and also match the keyword.
Hmm.
So if we're talking about Southern California, we want to have a lot of Southern California stuff. Otherwise, people that are coming organically from that keyword and they're not seeing Southern California work, they may not
Yeah.
like think you're legit, right? So anyway, um, okay, and then I'm personally a fan of big, beautiful buttons. I think underline buttons are easy to miss. So
Okay.
if you have like a rectangle that you can put within show it, you know, and make it like a button that like this hovers when you or changes when you hover over it, that's Gucci. Um, okay, let's capture your story in your unique way. It's a little too soon to be asking for the reach out. I think we still
Okay.
need to warm them up. One thing to also consider when people find you through a keyword, most of the time they are warm because they're looking for the service that you want, but they're not ready to reach out yet. We have to really warm them up and get them so like warm to what you are going to bring to the table and how you're different than other photographers. Because I mean, we don't know how many other like websites they're looking at and who's going to actually apply more to that gut feeling. So that's our job. So we now have to talk about our philosophy, right? That's where I talked about the philosophy section. You talk about addressing certain problems and how you address that. So how do you approach like taking actually getting those candid photos? Like what is your process with that? Address the concerns, and then also think of a differentiator that makes you so different. So with Olivia in this group, I know she was talking about how she tries to deliver the gallery within 3 weeks. That's something to totally highlight because that's like a huge differentiator that most clients are gonna be like, heck yeah, I get my full gallery in 3 weeks. Like that's insane. So think about something that makes you so special and different. Like for me, I'm an officiant. A lot of couples don't know that like a lot of elopement photographers are officiants, and so I highlight that and I'm just like, hey, like if you want to get married on a mountain cliff, I can also make your marriage legal so you don't have to go find someone to solemnize your marriage.
Mhm.
Something like that that makes you different is really valuable. Like I said, these you want these pages to definitely be more of like a sales page. If you've ever gone through a sales page, I mean, for example, I could just pull up my course page. Um, let me see. One second. .com slash, I think it's, yeah. So, okay, so here's my sales page, right? You have a hook, and then you've got social proof, testimonials, and then you have the offerings, right? So what is making this course stand out from other courses? Well, I'm going to give you step-by-step tutorials on the actual web platforms. I'm going to give you obviously the SEO strategy that's going to work. I'm going to give you website templates. Like you're going to get templates too. That's a huge differentiator. So everything in the sales page is applying to like how I'm different and how this course is different, all of that, right? But it's
Mhm.
also like what's included. It's not just highlighting the summary of like, go here to see my blogs, go here to reach out to me. It's no, no, no. Here's the value that I bring, right? Here's what makes me different. Anyway, I hope that that makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
As far as like how to write out the sections, that's something that I'm going to go over in my course, but also something that I can help you with if you have questions. Because I know it does take a lot, but you can also, I mean, don't, like I said, don't sleep on Chat GPT. Like,
No, yeah, I know. I think I used it for this section, the Meet Your Intimate Wedding Destination Photographer. I did use chat
yeah,
for its called.
you can even have a button here that leads to your about page.
Oh,
It,
okay. Yeah,
it
that's a good idea.
includes, it encourages engagement on your website. Okay, so one thing that I've been loving with testimonials, especially long ones, is highlight one sentence that you think stands out. So,
Okay.
like, look no further. She is extremely detailed beginning and after. If you highlight that and make that like almost a heading, and then
Okay.
have the rest of the testimonial, I'll show
Oh
you.
yeah, that's a great
Whoops,
idea.
that's not right. Hang on. Ah, let me see. One sec. Because again, you almost want it to be skimmable.
Yeah.
And if it's not skimmable, people are not going to stay here. So see how I highlighted one section?
Yeah.
if for someone who's scrolling, that's all the information they need. They just need to see that someone's validated that, but most of them don't want to read this huge long paragraph. So, um, consider doing that for that. Okay, telling your story exactly how it was meant to be remembered. Are these blogs?
I think they're just photos, but there's the visit the blog at the bottom, but oh, maybe it is. I don't know.
Okay, so
But I
these are
have
broken.
no blogs. So
Okay.
yeah.
These are broken links too, so that could also definitely hurt your SEO.
Okay.
You definitely, if you're going to be highlighting the blog, I would link to at least like three
Okay.
blogs, right? Um, and then have them clickable to go to that specific blog. And then also when I hover over it, like have it change opacity or something, because then it really
Okay.
encourages that click. Yeah, just usability stuff. This is all like website usability. And
Yeah.
again, the more that they click and scroll and engage, the more that Google is going to see, oh, like this is a really trustworthy site. A lot of people are scrolling and clicking, and that will help your domain authority essentially. Um, let's give them a tangible home together, get in touch. Are these both buttons? These are both buttons. That's a little confusing.
Yeah.
I'd
I
probably
know.
just remove one.
Yeah. My thing is like I paid sometimes I feel like so like, ugh, I paid so much for this, but I know it's an investment. So, but sometimes I'm like, I don't want to show it because I don't know it well enough and I'm like afraid to mess up something. So there
Mhm.
has been a lot of things that I've like either not noticed because I never noticed those two buttons, or I just like don't touch it because I'm too afraid to like,
Yeah, I hear
yeah.
you.
So,
Well, show it is definitely a learning curve. And I think that's why
yeah.
in the course, which I know you're in, I'm
Yeah.
gonna definitely like go through more of like a show it tutorial on how to use certain functionalities and stuff because I know that it's a little confusing.
Yeah, it can be for sure. I mean, there's
Yeah.
some things that are totally just like, okay, that makes sense, and then
Yeah.
other
But
things are
as
just
far
not.
as like if you're coming up with a design on your own and you're trying to like
Mhm.
formulate stuff on your own and you don't have any design like not capability but like knowledge
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like how to create a good section or whatever, then yeah,
yeah.
it can definitely be more confusing. And so I
I mean,
I
I could do it on Canva all day long, but on Show It, I'm like, I'm afraid.
know, I hear you. Yeah, so I think your homepage is just missing more of those like the problem solving, the
Mhm.
philosophy, and the things that we talked about.
Yeah,
Now, the other thing too I want to mention is I have been noticing that some people that come to your website may just go straight to your pricing page. And when that happens, you need to have also a sales format on your pricing page too. Because otherwise it's a huge missed opportunity. You just spent all this time formulating your homepage and then they just don't even look and they go straight to your pricing. So that's why instead of just going straight into the pricing, you punch in that value again. So where in the pricing is your value? Like, is it all inclusive? Are travel fees included? What is that value? I'll give you an example because I just worked really hard on my pricing page. So first you have the same thing, same type of format as the homepage. You have a hero section with the tagline, and then my subheading is like obviously where I specialize in, so my specialty. If I book outside of those, and sometimes I do,
yeah.
cool, but primarily this is where I want to be. So I don't really care. And then again, a hook. Like I'm kind of using the same format I did for my homepage, but I'm now applying it to a sales, to my pricing page with a pricing verbiage. So your elopement day should be more than just photos. That's why my packages are unique to create. It's all about my packages. Like the wording here is all about packages, but it's still in that sales format. So every package includes boom, boom, boom. And then me, my philosophy and vision again, another testimonial for social proof. Um, how to decide which package is right for you, just like it almost like if you're ever on a consultation call and you get like a question that's repeated in calls over and over and over again, and it's just a common question, address it, have it here. So one of them for me is like, well, I don't know if I should have one day or multi-day. Like, what's the benefit of having a multi-day? Okay, talk about that. Like, well, with a multi-day, we can go camping and backpacking and blah, 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 so that's where you would put it maybe on the pricing page because
Okay.
it addresses more of that package. And then this was a common question I got a lot in consultation calls. They're like, well, we don't have a date yet. So is that okay? And it's like, I want to address that up front because that might be holding someone back from reaching out to me because they don't have a date yet.
Mm.
So if they don't have a date, that's okay. Like we always update it later. And usually it's dependent on a permit anyway, which I talk about here.
Yeah.
Um, and then one of my other things is let me handle the stress of planning, and then I get into my packages. So I have all of that messaging first that
Yeah.
talks about that value. Then we talk numbers because my packages are pretty pricey. So I don't expect someone to just go straight into seeing $10,000 and being like, oh yeah, I want to reach out now. Like
Yeah.
that's not going to happen. So you need to have the opportunity to kind of warm them up first, get them excited, and then when they see the numbers, it's not like a huge sticker shock.
Okay.
Um, Right. And then I go through next steps, more resources, and then the final CTA, which you should have at the bottom of every page. Like, let's do it.
Okay.
Um, so that just in as your example, you're going straight into your pricing, which is fine. I mean, you have starting at, which I like. I just think we need more of that. Like, if someone was to go straight to your pricing page, like
Hmm.
there needs to be more warmth happening there.
Yeah. No, I
Warm
totally
them up,
agree. And
you know?
this photo is driving me nuts too.
Yeah, and then this one didn't fully load. I would just
Yeah.
make this whole section just like your homepage, like a
Okay.
hero. Yeah. Um, like this should go up at
Okay.
the that can stay below. This needs to go above.
Okay.
But I would are they the same? They're the same testimonials as the homepage. I would switch them
I
up.
think so. Yeah, I think I have like where you can read multiple at a time on the
Hmm.
sites there. There's like the yeah.
Yeah, I would just start with a different one here.
Do you think it'd be better if I just like took that out and just put one on each
No,
of
you
the
can
pages?
have, I think
Okay.
multiple's
Okay.
fine. I just wouldn't start with the same one that's on the
Okay.
homepage,
Okay.
just for variety.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would just build out this page a little more,
Okay.
about page, and then we'll dive into another website. I
Yeah.
sometimes I have a problem with script fonts. If you've been following
Yeah.
me for a while, you know this.
Yeah.
Only because it's hard to read. It's not skimmable. It's not easy to like understand right away. It's nice for like aesthetic things that are not as important, but like for a subheading, I would want it to be a little more bold.
Okay.
Um, Not just your photographer, but also friend for the crazy in love. Yeah, I
I
that's
also like don't like that. That sounds like everyone else, but that's something that they put on my website. And again, I just haven't changed.
yeah, well then you could
Yeah.
specialize it. Like
Yeah.
think back to your like we talk about in day one of the course, think back to your favorite client. What was
Hmm.
something that you guys really connected on? Because like if you're gonna be friends,
Yeah.
what's that one thing that like made you guys friends, right?
Yeah.
Um, so think about that and then maybe like add that wording there.
Okay.
This text is a little small. I would
Hmm.
probably just make it a little bigger and I would it's a little too wide, so I would just notch it in.
Okay.
And then I'd have bullet points just for the sake of skimmability of like some fun facts or something about you. Because again, I mean, some people say don't put fun facts on your website, but I don't agree with that. I think you totally should because it helps people relate and connect with you. So like one thing for me is I love iced chai lattes. I love Hans Zimmer. I don't know, one of my goals is to summit Mount Timpanogos here in Utah. And like those are things that I just like to talk about that can relate to people. So have something like that. And then get badges here.
Hmm.
Get those
Okay, so
badges
that
and
is
link
something
them.
that I had a question on because like a lot of those like Still Novel does not have, I mean, this was like at least 3 years ago that they had my work on their website and they don't have it up there anymore. Is that still okay to link? I mean, that's kind of something that
Oh, they don't link it anymore?
Mm, no, not they don't have mine up anymore.
Oh, hmm.
Yeah.
I would only put it if you can link back to it because then
Okay.
it's outbound. Or I mean,
Okay.
yeah, outbound link.
Yeah, because that was
So,
all like pre-baby.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get the badges and then when
Okay.
they click it, have it take it to the article that you were featured on because these are really trustworthy sites and those
Yeah.
are outbound backlinks that you can totally be utilizing for
Okay.
SEO.
Cool.
Um, I think just the design standpoint, this is a little hard
Yeah.
to read. I would probably just
Yeah,
make,
because there's even like all this stuff on the side, like that's where you see like,
if you can like move this to, or like make it wider so it comes out to here,
okay,
a line, you know?
okay,
'Cause then I wouldn't miss it.
yeah,
Right, if right here, it's like way off over here that it's like easy to miss. And I love this design. So, okay. So going back to what it was at the home one, I don't know what that was. What make them all look like this.
okay,
Yeah. For consistency. Yeah, like I like the first one. I like the
okay,
design the best. Because, these images are small and they don't really
yeah,
serve anything, but when you have one nice one, you can make that bigger,
okay,
you know?
yeah,
But yeah, bring this line out to here so it takes up almost like half the page. Just on
okay.
desk. I don't know how
And
this.
then, yeah,
Oh,
just do one photo, I think is, I don't know, like probably
let
better.
me see mobile here.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, like well, even mobile. Oh, I don't know why the image is cut off.
Right. Yeah,
Definitely want to make sure you optimize this stuff for mobile too.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, like these testimonials are great. Those are fine. Like, okay, this, a glimpse into my why, this needs to be on your homepage.
okay.
Yeah.
Good. I like that. That's something for me to put on there.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, and then just buttons I think would be cool.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? Or how do you feel about the feedback?
Um, no, I don't think so. I mean, like the questions that I probably have, like, okay, so for instance, like I love you have like a specific font on your website that like looks like it kind of has like a
This one?
that one. Yeah, so it has like something behind that. I can't figure out how to do that on.
Oh, it's a drop shadow.
Okay, yeah.
Here, I'll
So
just
stuff like that, like those are the things that I'm like, man, I wish I could figure out like how to do this, but I
why
for
is
some
it white
reason.
now? Wait, this is new. I literally just recorded the show it section of this course and it was black like yesterday.
Oh, weird.
I don't know. Is there a way to change this to be dark mode?
Like the
Okay.
iPhone, it changes when it's daytime and nighttime.
I don't know, but I was
No,
like,
I
what
don't think it
happened?
is, but
Okay, so like, okay, so if you click the text, I
yeah.
need to move our chat over here. Hang on. I have so many windows with Zoom open that I need to like move you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Um, if you go to, oh, sorry, 1 second. I cannot get what I need. If you go to, not advanced, effects, drop shadow, outer, and
Oh,
then opacity. I believe,
okay.
like if oh, that's the actual, all of the text. Here you go. So here's the settings for that. So you can
Oh, okay.
make it more off
Hmm.
or see, that doesn't work today. Okay. You can change the color and then the blur. Let's say I wanted it to be more blurry. Can't undo today. I don't know why. That stinks. Um, yeah, that's how you do that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think for me personally, I'm just trying to decide like what to tackle first because I know that there is a lot of stuff on my website. There's, you know, the writing, there's the design that I know that I want to change. Um,
Yeah.
so, but I appreciate all the feedback. That is
Yeah.
great. That's a great place to like start with, you know.
Yeah. Well, and then if you come back next month to our website critique,
Mhm.
then I can like see the changes you made and like we can
Yeah.
look through it. Okay,
Yeah.
McLean, you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi. Am I saying your name right? Is it
Yeah,
McLean?
that's right.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
I love your name. It's so like unique and beautiful. Okay,
Thanks.
cool. So tell me about your site. Tell me how you're feeling, and yeah, where we can
Okay.
start.
Okay, so I I'm feeling good about it overall. I'm in the middle of trying to go full-time senior, and so trying to make it more like user-friendly, more like luxury fun instead of just your basic like all-in-one photography.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm trying to like appeal to the senior, but also be professional. So
Okay. So you want to be more, you said luxury and fun. I think those are two very stark, different brand things. So describe.
yeah. So more fun, but also like that I don't know, like I'm worth the prices that I'm
Okay.
asking
So
for.
high value
A
fun.
high value, yes.
I would say. Okay, cool. Well, I think this font is definitely fun. I
Yeah.
love it. I think for seniors too, especially for girls, you have to think about your market, right? Like they're not Gen Z. Are they Gen Z?
I think so. I think so.
Like, fonts that apply to Gen Z, I guess that would definitely probably be a font that
Yeah.
applies. It's fun. It's not like, what do they say? Chuggy. I'm a millennial. They say like,
I
so
have none.
anyway, so okay, so just a couple of starters. Um, okay, so you can scroll. I would have like just from a usability standpoint, I would have arrows or something that tell me that I can like click and scroll. The next
Okay.
thing I would say is I'd love for your navigation to have a solid bar, only because you have multiple images going on. If you had one big image, it would be a lot easier to see, but because there's multiple images, I would just get one solid navigation bar.
Okay.
Did you build this and show it?
I did. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so if you go to the canvas for your navigation, you can just add the background. I would just do something like that, just so it's easier to see the navigation.
Okay.
Um, did you do any research on this keyword?
I did. And
Let's just see.
I was really having a really hard time finding good keywords for my area.
What about just Arkansas? Arkansas. I cannot spell. Arkansas. Kansas. Is that right?
Or Kansas, yeah.
You're senior photographer? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
No. Graduation? I'm trying to think of other phrases. No.
It's like
Gosh,
dry
Arkansas, Arkansas photographer. I'm really bad at spelling.
No, I am too. No, you're
Okay,
good.
that one's a better keyword.
Okay.
But I don't think you're gonna get hurt for having senior in there as well, because Google may still pull Arkansas photographer from your page.
Okay.
So let's just like do some quick Arkansas.
I'm like, should I take Northeast off?
Can Kansas. No, I probably would. I don't think Northeast is helping you at this point.
Okay.
Um, Little Rock. See, that doesn't even have Arkansas and she's showing up. Arkansas elopement photographer, same thing. So if you had Arkansas senior photographer, you could show up for that keyword.
Okay.
Yeah, all these are weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you can do when you're assessing the competition, if you really want to know, is you can research and see what their domain score is and then what your domain score is, because that affects your
Okay.
page rank the most. So if they're like at a domain score of like 5 and you're at a domain score of 2, then there's a high likelihood you could get real close to them here. But if they're at like a domain score of like 15 or higher, then you'll probably have to build up your domain score a little more to start getting on that page. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Do you know about domain score and all that?
Um, I mean, I know what it is. I don't know how to get it or how to read it.
So the easiest way, let's just do it for you real quick. Anybody who's watching. Again, if you guys are in my course, I know a lot of you are new. I'm going to be going through this in the course, so like fear not. But a quick way to check your domain score is to do this. So if you go backlinks and then let's put in your thingy mabob, it will tell us your authority. So you have 1. Not great.
Yeah,
So
terrible.
basically, how you get more how you get more authority is you want to get more backlinks. And the quickest way to get backlinks is either through like social media. Pinterest is a great one. Um, Submitting your work to different blogs, like any blogs that are hosting awards and stuff.
Mhm.
Look at local specific ones. So like any Arkansas magazines. Is there like a senior photo Arkansas thing that you can submit work to? Um,
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. Just like you can also do like all that research, but just like be putting feelers out there. Another great one that I personally love is Facebook groups. There are some groups that host challenges. So I don't know, let's do senior photographers or something like that and see if there's a group that would fit you. Senior portrait photographer. Okay, here's one. I don't know if they have a website and they're hosting awards, submit there. Just do some research. But any time that a website with high authority links back to your site, that's just gonna boost your domain real fast.
Okay.
So that's the quickest way to do it. But Pinterest is also a great way. If you're sharing, like let's say I want to share this photo to Pinterest, I have a Google Chrome plugin with Pinterest where this little thing will pop up. And so if I wanted to save this to like one of my boards, I just do that real quickly. And then when you go to Pinterest, that pin will link to this page. So it's really fast, easy way to do
Oh
pinning.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then as far as like a Pinterest strategy, like you just want to look at those outbound links and see how many people are clicking on pins and stuff.
Okay.
Hang on, my husband's here. What's up? No, okay. Um, so yeah, okay, so let's continue. So you probably, I don't think Northeast is helping you at this point, so I don't think it's
Okay.
necessary. If you go like, do you go all throughout Arkansas or
I mean, I'm typically in that region, but
would you be willing to go?
I mean, if they paid for the
Okay, cool. No, there
travel,
you go.
but
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
mhm. So this, I would assume is your tagline. I'm
Hmm.
not in love with the placement of it. I think it should be here. And then this could be a little smaller. So, documenting the real and authentic of each and every senior. Do you typically only do girls or do you do boys? Who's your ideal client?
I mean, they're girls. I
Mostly
will
girls.
do boys. I've done one boy in
It's
the
it's
last
giving
year.
it's giving girls for sure with the font and the
100%.
ink. So I would do something that's for the girls, right? So
Okay.
how do we appeal to Gen Z senior girls right now? Probably like what is the reason they're getting senior portraits done? Have you thought about that?
I mean, I'm a mix of needing photos for uh, their rushing and a mix of wanting an aesthetic Instagram, things like that.
Bingo. So then you say, I mean, you could have so much fun with this, but you could say something like, let's have all of your friends like let's create your jaw-dropping Instagram profile or let's give you a profile picture. This is so Gen Z though. I wouldn't go that far.
I mean, I've had to go to ChatGPT to be like, say this in Gen Z language because
No,
I
literally, and
don't.
that's a good call
Yeah,
because I think it's a huge like value lead
yeah,
because you get them thinking like, oh, I'm gonna be so cool on my Instagram. That's all really high schoolers are thinking right now. Like, I just want to fit it and be cool. I hate to
yeah.
say it, but it's true.
It's true.
So how do you kind of play into that a little more? And then I would make that your tagline. So
Okay,
something that's like, let's make your Instagram profile something all your friends will envy. No, I don't like that. I don't like that. No. Um, something like that, but it needs to go here. Okay.
okay.
And then just arrows so that I know I can scroll. These are all really cute. Yeah, so I love the brand. This is a great example of like appealing to your brand. I wouldn't necessarily do this for a wedding photographer site, right? But for you and your specific ideal client, this makes so much sense because they're Gen Z, they're girls. This is very much who they are, right? They love kind of the fun, cutesy, whatever. Um, I would probably make the button just a little bigger.
Okay.
And then let's get some more keywords. So you do have Arkansas photographing. You could have a subheading under here just for SEO purposes. That's like your um, Arkansas senior photographer or something like that. Excuse me, I was trying not to burp.
Been
Um,
there.
yeah, I love the Polaroid. Like I said, you guys, so just everybody who's watching it is a wedding photographer. Like collages have their place, but it's not for wedding websites. It's for things like this, like senior photo websites where it appeals to Gen Z because this is who their generation is. This is going to resonate deeply with them. Will it resonate with like millennial wedding people that are getting married right now? Probably not as much as it would with Gen Z. So just keep that in mind. Everything on your site is going to be appealing to your ideal client, and if they are a millennial, they are different than Gen Z. So be thinking of that. um, my goal with my camera is telling your story in genuine and candid way. I love this though. Wait, sorry. I'm trying to highlight this one sentence here. Ah, that sentence. I like love that one because it's
Oh,
specific. So I would make almost this.
okay.
Like, woohoo, you almost made it, and now it's time to celebrate. Let's take some pictures.
Okay. That's cute.
Something like that. Because it's so different. And this is so kind of like everybody says that kind of thing.
Cheesy. Yeah.
Not cheesy, but it's just it doesn't stand out. I'm looking for ways to differentiate in a saturated market. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So wording like that is a really easy way to do that.
Love. Okay.
I'm not sure they would be ready to book yet. So let's talk more about like how do you make them comfortable in front of the camera? With a lot of girls, think about it. Like a lot of high school girls probably struggle with image. So how do you make them feel seen? Right? Like what is your process to make them feel special? Do you send them a questionnaire? Do you play music? Do you,
Mhm.
what do you do? What's your process? Talk about that.
Okay.
Because it alleviates a lot of that concern of like, well, I don't deserve to have my photos taken. Like, I'm just not as beautiful as these girls are in these photos. Just think about those problems that maybe a girl's having in having senior portraits taken. Um, and then address that, have a section all about it. Also, just from a design thing, I would probably have every button do something every time they hover over it. So even that one,
Okay.
just have something happen. Is this a button?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so. Yeah.
I would probably just remove the background and then also the animation because it makes me feel like I can click on it.
Okay.
Oh, there is, yeah, see, it's a broken link.
Oh,
Yeah, so fix that. It's not good for your website. Sorry. Okay, if you're new here, I talk in a British accent. If you're British, I'm sorry. It's no offense. It happens, so I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, I think we just need more brand messaging here. So again, more of that philosophy, more of the problem solving. This is the biggest mistake I see with websites because the design can be great, but the copy is just as important to get them to reach out. And that's I think what we're missing here.
okay.
I love the testimonial though. I love how you highlighted that. Like perfect, great for skimmability. Awesome. Okay, so let's go info. Senior year is finally here. Your turn has come. Let's do this thing. Yeah. Okay, so this is that same section.
Yeah, it's
Probably
exactly the same.
I probably wouldn't repeat it.
Okay.
I would talk about you. What did you get senior photos taken?
Yeah, by my aunt. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, so talk about that. I'd be like, look, let me be real with you. My aunt took my senior photos, and here's how it actually felt. Because you know what? I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Some girl in Arkansas is probably like, my aunt can take my photos for me.
Yeah, that's so true.
Why do they need to hire you instead? Right? That's
Yeah.
what you address here. And then you know what? Share some of your photos like from your aunt and be like, "Look, my aunt took my photos. I love her to death, but I felt so awkward." Like talk about like how negative that kind of was and how you have now sought to make the senior experience so much better. Like for those girls because that will resonate so deeply with those people. especially the girls that are like, you know what, my mom can just take photos of me in my backyard or something. Like, no, 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 no. You deserve to have nice photos. This is such an exciting time for you. You're graduating high school. Um, See how the message just changes? How when you
Yeah,
like
I love
address
that.
that, you know? Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Because I mean, obviously this is a beautiful photo of, I'm assuming this is you, right? Yes. Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Because I mean, you look so beautiful here, but I would share some of your senior photos with your aunt and be like, bro, and just make it fun.
Yeah,
Be like,
yeah,
ooh,
I need to dig them up.
or use some Gen Z lingo, like I don't know, what are they saying nowadays? I like to
Cool.
say it on TikTok, but who knows? Like oof or woof or I don't-
Yeah, I'd
like
have to do the research. I don't know. I don't
right? Or like a skibbity toilet, like all the boys,
know.
young little boys are saying. Okay. Yeah, and so then you talk about your pricing. So yeah, okay. Your info page, yeah, because I almost like you don't have an about page, so you could almost combine your info with your about page. And so talk about you, talk about your
Okay.
experience, blah, 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 and then get into the pricing. That would be awesome. Film photos, that's a huge differentiator. Love that. Talk more about it.
Okay.
Yeah, just in that little section there. Let's meet booking planning. Sorry, I'm freezing. I think my husband turned on the AC and I'm not sure why. I just need to adjust that real quick.
Oh, you're good.
My office just gets really cold. Okay. Um, you're my gal. I'm in FAQs. Okay, that's fair. Okay, cool. I would probably change this font just so it's easier to read
Okay.
to be not script font or like a handwritten font, but more of like
Right.
like this font. That one.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, that's cool. You have a rep team.
Yeah, they're the best.
I
Love
love
them.
that. Cool. Yeah, I mean, senior season is coming up. So
Yeah.
definitely get this ready to go so that you can like launch it. And then what are you doing like for marketing? Because that's obviously,
Yeah, there's nothing on there. I haven't, I was gonna start trying to do a blog a week
yeah,
of like what to bring to your session, how to prepare, choosing your outfits, et
yeah.
cetera, et cetera. But it's blank right now. I just
Where-
started this website, like split my wedding and senior brand like a few months ago. And so it's fresh. She's a
Okay,
baby.
cool.
Right?
She's a babe. So where do you mostly get like your seniors from now? Is it Instagram or referrals?
Instagram and referrals, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, even blogging is going to take a sec to really start seeing the fruition of
Yeah.
that, unless you consider running like Facebook ads, which is something you could do,
Okay.
um, and link them to your site, you know? Um, but yeah, I'm just thinking of different ways like to kind of boost your senior season. I'm not like a huge fan of discounts, but
Yeah.
you could keep up with the referrals. That's probably a good one. And they get like
Yeah.
maybe an incentive or like a commission. Um, Yeah. Overall, though, I love the brand of your site. It's very to your market, which is great.
Okay. Cool.
Um, the tips, yeah. So is it tips or is it galleries?
It's supposed to be tips, but the only thing I have, like I wrote this blog 2 years ago.
Okay.
And so the goal is to have more tips. So should I just take that blog off for now?
No, I would just, oh, and then you have your old,
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
um, no, it's fine. I would just maybe update it to be galleries because
okay.
there's no tips here necessarily. It's a real session. And then when you have tips, you can have that as like another button that takes them to like that category within WordPress or something. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Like when you create a tips blog in WordPress, just give it the category tips and then put it in your navigation. And when they click that, it will take them to all of the posts that are within that category,
Mhm. Okay.
right?
Okay,
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, overall though, I think that looks solid. Like I said, I love the brand. I think it's great
Yeah.
for people.
Cool.
Um, okay. Anna, I know I've looked at your website a couple times. Is there something that you want me to look at that's different?
I've actually recently changed a lot of the homepage and experience page. You don't have to go like crazy, you could just do whatever because I know other people probably want their websites checked, but if you just want to like skim it.
Sure. So you said your homepage in what?
And my like info and pricing page.
Okay. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So helping you craft an unforgettable wedding day with ease. I like it. It still feels, I don't know,
Does it feel too weddingy still?
maybe, but it also, yeah, because your elopements. I would change day to experience.
Okay.
Helping you craft an unforgettable wedding experience. Helping you craft an unforgettable, stress-free wedding experience.
Okay. I like that.
That's what I would change it to.
Okay.
And then Colorado elopement photographer, yes. And you updated this. Yes, good.
Mhm.
I would put a hook here. This section's great. I just need a hook. Like I
Okay.
need that keep me scrolling, keep me excited thing, you know? If this sounds like you, then you're in the right place. Okay, just from a design thing real quick. The section's great. I would just make this image a little darker so that this stands out. And then if what sounds like you, I think that's a little confusing. Like, what is it that sounds like
Mhm.
me? So identify that. So if if you want to prioritize adventure and authentic moments, then you're in the right
Mhm.
place. Something like that, you know.
Okay.
And just make this image a little darker. And then have a button, a call to action.
Mhm.
If this sounds like you, you're in the right place. Oh, it's all of this is what you're saying.
Yeah, like the little check marks and stuff. But I mean, maybe you could put like a
Oh.
colon, like a dot dot or something, so people see like, hey, this kind of, I don't know, communicates that. But
Then change this to be you're in the right place if colon.
okay, that makes so much sense. I would never have thought about
Yeah,
that.
so you're in the right place if colon you've decided to elope, you're overwhelmed, needing a solution. And then a button, let's get started or something there.
Okay.
You don't have to spend $20,000 to reserve your dream venue. Love that. Explain that more though. Like how? So like a permit costs, like $200. So
Mhm.
you could say something like that, like the average national
Either
park permit.
save the money and buy a house or,
Mm-hmm.
X, Y, and Z.
Yes, save the money and buy a house. You know how many people elope to do that instead? Seriously. So that's a great message. So you could say, you don't have to spend $20,000 to reserve your dream venue. Use that money for a house instead, right? Wink, wink.
Mhm.
Um, and then talk about like most national park permits range from like $200 to $500 max. So
Mhm.
you're really going to be saving a lot of money and you can have the best venue in the world. Talk about that a little more.
Mhm.
Because that's definitely a great problem that's been identified. Now let's explain it a little more. Because if that catches someone's eye in skimmability, then they actually will go through most of the time and read the paragraph. So
Yeah.
she's the one, trust me, love that.
I don't know why the text is all wonky, like it's in the middle. Because
What
on
do you
mine it's all like together, but
Oh, sometimes in Show It, you have to, if you go to size and position, you have to click one of these. Did you do that?
okay, like lock it in place so it doesn't
Uh-huh.
like okay.
Yeah, so your image here. So what you would want to do is probably move this over, right?
Mhm.
And then make this image bigger. So what you would do is highlight or position this text with, where is it? That or that. Probably that one.
Okay.
I would do that one. And then just make sure to preview too, so you can see
Mhm.
real life. Um, love the iPhone photos. I would also maybe consider doing some fun bullet points. Like I said, I know some people have said don't do that, but I'm a huge fan of it because I think it makes you relatable and connectable. So, I don't know who's saying not to do that. Someone told me that someone said not to do that recently, and I don't know. I don't think that's
I
a
don't
good.
know why you wouldn't.
I know. I don't think it's a good call because it
On, like
makes
it's
you
just a bullet point.
yeah, it makes you relatable. Like, if you like iced chai lattes too, cool. We're gonna be great friends. Like, I don't know. Um, yeah, I love the iPhone photos. Fun fact, anybody who's new here, if you share your iPhone photos, it makes you more human. If you're only sharing like your nice photography photos, sometimes it makes you feel untouchable. Just know that. So I will always say, share real life photos too. Not sure where to start. Start here. Okay. Have like a little icon or something like a check mark,
Okay.
you know? That it
Hmm.
just feels a little empty, but I like that. Same here.
Yeah, kind of like fill the negative space.
Yeah, and your photos can be authentic, intentional, artistic. You can even build it out further, have that as like the main point,
Hmm.
and then have like a little paragraph or like a sentence after that explaining. Because it does feel like there's a lot of negative space here.
Are you on a like a desktop, like an iMac?
I'm on a MacBook Pro.
Okay. It's so interesting because on mine, like even when I look at it, um, like on Chrome, like it's published, it's not spread out. So I wonder if different MacBooks have different like sizing on their screens.
What does yours look like?
It
This?
looks it looks more like that, yeah.
Me
And I
see.
think mine is like a 14-inch or 13.
Probably because these images are this. So they're probably locked to the side because it's responsive. So you know how they move?
Yeah, okay. That makes
So I would either make the image bigger and then move the text over. I wouldn't move it actually too far over here because then it's hard to read.
hmm
Um, or just add something else like more text. But, primarily your people will be on mobile. That
hmm
is typically what happens. Most people do end up staying mobile. So, but you do also like if I am on a MacBook, which is pretty normal, then you want
Yeah,
it to be
I
optimized.
want it to look right.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Interesting. Hmm.
I would
Yeah. I don't
probably
know why, like that photo is in the middle on my, see, yeah, that's how it looks on mine, but I don't know why it changes on other people's.
make sure that there's no sticky thing. So click the image and then
Oh,
see if it's got like a position thing. Because that's
okay.
that's why it's doing that. I'll show it.
Okay.
I'd remove that. Connection, vision, and authenticity. Love it. I would, you know what, for just a break in like the green color, I would give these squares a background, like a white
Okay.
background, and then make the text black or something.
Hmm.
And then I love the YouTube video. Yes, yes, yes. You guys hear it? Can you guys hear the music when I do that?
It's like a little bit muffled,
Okay.
but I can hear a little bit.
Set up professional audio. Zoom's like, hey, uh, I don't know. Okay. I love it. Yeah, love the behind the scenes. Guys, video is a huge thing, and I'm actually going to be talking a lot about this in the course. Um, if you utilize long-term YouTube content for your blogs specifically, Google will reward that page so much higher, and so much more. So creating long-form YouTube content, like if you're doing a blog all about tips or something, then you want to like if you're going to do a blog, consider making a long form YouTube video about it too and post that on the blog as well. And just upload it to YouTube. Then you're getting YouTube traffic and Google will reward the page. So I'm going to talk about that in the course more. But yeah, don't sleep on video. Video is great. Love it. Take it from couples just like you. I like the idea. I think we need to change the design.
Mm.
I'm trying to think of the best way to do this that's going to match your brand.
I mean, I could do like little like bullet points that are like little graphics of like a mountain or like I don't know, make it like fun.
Uh, I mean, this whole section is giving me like movie review because it's like the movie, like I don't know, it feels like a movie image, and then there's like
Mhm.
the reviews of the movie. I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. I just
I can play around with it.
no, yeah, I don't not like it. I think it's okay. Like I said, it's giving that movie review feel.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Um, we'll create a day that's uniquely yours. Custom planning research. Yeah, good. Love it. I love this. I almost feel like this should go higher.
Okay.
Let me see where. Like maybe here. I don't know. Yeah, I love my photos over here. Love my photographer planner. Yeah, I do think this should go higher. I'll let
Okay.
you figure out where that should probably
Mhm.
go, but I do think it should go a little higher. This is good where it is. The resources. Oh, yeah, you need to get that people badge somewhere here.
Yeah,
Um,
maybe I should put it high, like at the very top, like featured in.
you could even put it underneath your hero image
Oh
and
yeah,
make
like a
them
little
the same
like
make them the same color so that it all fits. So make this section a little bigger and then put like a line and then put the badges of all of the awards that you've won because then immediately it establishes that social credit.
okay.
Okay. I love this. Have a button. Oh, it's there. Never mind. Cool. I think it's definitely a huge improvement. Oh, real quick. Have something happen when I hover over these. Also, there's no link to
Okay.
this photo.
Oh yeah, I need to add links to the actual images because I
Yeah,
have it on
I
the yeah.
and then this one doesn't do anything when it's underlined.
I think I forgot to put the underline under there. Yeah, and there's still like little things I need to
But I think the
have
structure of the
out.
page is definitely getting there. Like I think we're on the right track. What does your dream a little bit? Possibilities are endless. Just from a design standpoint, I'd probably make the button text just a little smaller.
Okay.
And the rectangle take up more of the space. It just looks.
Hmm.
So if these are two sections, change this background color. I'm not sure I like this all being the same color,
Okay.
but I do like this little section. Let's keep that
Mhm.
and then change one of the background colors. I don't know if it's a different section, but maybe make them two separate.
Mhm.
I like this. Yes. Here's how we'll make that happen. Connect and book, plan and prepare, celebrate. Yep. Love it. I feel like this should just move over just a little bit to be here.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's still that like spreading out thing that I need to figure out to make everything more
And then these
together.
images,
Hmm.
I don't know, they kind of feel misplaced.
Yeah.
So either move them like, or just choose one and make it bigger. I don't know. Play around with that, but they're too small to be serving any purpose over there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I would probably move all of this just over a little bit. So you
Okay.
could do like that. I think it should solve the problem and just
Mhm.
make this take up half of the page and then this the other half kind of thing, just for desktop. Also, make sure your buttons kind of do something when I hover over them.
Like change a color or something like
Yeah,
that.
like again, it encourages clicking, so it's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, again,
Show an
that photo
image
needs
here.
to, okay.
Show an image here that shows that
Okay.
laughing couple, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah. Bring this one up a little bit, like to right here. But I love this. Is there a way to make these all black and white? Probably. If you just
I
desaturate them,
probably- Yeah, I probably could.
just so the colors don't like mess with
Yeah, like the kind of
it,
design.
just looks nicer. And then even if you could round the edges of the image, I know there's a way to do that and show it. It might just make it look more nice, you know.
Yeah, that
If
makes sense.
not, you could probably just edit it in Canva and then
Mhm.
upload it.
Man, the text is so weird.
Yeah, just make sure there's
I
no
need to fix
sticky stuff attached
that.
to it. It may just be going that way because of like there might be something like this. So just if you're
Yeah,
copying and pasting text, then it'll hold that
yeah,
attribution and it'll do that. So yeah, okay, and then you get into your packages. Yeah, perfect. I think this is we're on the right page here for the pricing page.
yeah. It's just really tweaking all the little why the things are all
All those
moved
little
around.
usability things, yeah.
Yeah,
No, it looks good. Is this a button? Okay.
yeah.
I would add a rectangle and not make that
Okay.
a button. But that looks good. Do you have any questions?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Just making those tweaks.
All right. I'm sorry, I'm just not reading all the chat, y'all. You guys are popping off, sorry. Um, I hate the white on show it. Yeah, me too. I don't know why. Yours is still dark, Anna?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mine's white. I don't know. Oh, you can change it to dark. Liz says, click your name at the bottom left and under preferences, change it to dark. Let's see. Ah, much better. Thank you. I've updated my homepage and would love some feedback. Okay. I just duplicated the page and unpublished it and then played around with the duplicate until I had it the way I wanted. Yeah. Um, okay. Oh, you guys are just commenting on all the pages. That's fun. Yeah, so Kristen was saying, yeah, show it websites look different on different computer sizes, which drives me nuts. Sometimes that's why it's more valuable to consider getting like a Mac desktop, so you can see what it looks like because I only have a MacBook Pro, so I'm really editing my site really for MacBook. But it would be really interesting to see what it looks like on a wider scale. So I'm not telling you all to go get a Mac, but you do need to, the way to kind of work around that is through using those functionalities with the size and position like these. And that will just keep it responsive no matter the screen size. But you also want to make sure that the text isn't doing weird things when you do that. And so, yeah. um, okay, let's go through one more site. I think Catherine shared hers. Catherine, are you here still?
I'm here, yes.
Yay! Awesome. Okay. Um, oh wait, Anna, before I do that, Anna, do you have any questions about your site?
No, I'm good. That's all. It's all really good for me to keep on trucking with it.
Keep on tracking, you're getting there. It looks really good.
Thank
Okay,
you.
cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, Catherine. Hello. So tell me how we're feeling. What are some things that we need help with, and how are we feeling about the site?
So I feel like it's a work in progress. I'm
As it always is.
struggling with a lot of like perfectionism type thing. But I feel pretty good for where I started to where I'm at right now.
Okay.
I am getting inquiries, but majority of them are like 1 or 2 hour inquiries. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to change on my site. Um,
Are they coming from Google or Instagram, or where are they coming from right now?
yeah, majority of them are coming from Google.
Oh, great. That's awesome. What landing page are they coming to? Home?
Yes, home.
Okay, so is this the keyword?
Yes.
Do you know where you're ranking for that?
I think I am on page 1. There I
Yeah, you're
am.
right here. Well, actually, I should probably go incognito. Let's just confirm that 1 second. Because it might be biased. Yeah. Yeah, girl. Heck yeah, dude. All right. So what we're focused on then is getting them to reach out. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then
Now, the other thing to remember too, and everybody, this is so important. Everybody that comes to your website is not going to reach out, and that is okay. You really want the people that are so like in your niche that are resonating with the message that you're putting out there, those are the ones you want reaching out, not the ones that are just coming to price shop, right? So don't feel discouraged if you're looking at tools and you're like, oh, a lot of people aren't reaching out yet. That's okay because again, you're not for everybody. So everybody has they're coming to an elopement photographer for different things. Maybe they don't like the style or whatever. So don't feel offended if not everybody's reaching out. But okay. So you're saying you received a couple of inquiries, but they're not for the one they're only for 1 to 2 hours. So to me, that tells me maybe we need to educate a little more on the value of like what an all-day elopement looks like in Florida.
Yes. And I also think I just don't have that much content because I'm on the newer side. Like I just niched down like a year ago. In this first quarter, I definitely had a little bit more action, I guess, with elopements. So I'm trying to incorporate that into my website now as I'm editing. So I think maybe that's hurting me a little bit when like the words don't meet the pictures, you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that could definitely be affecting it. Yeah. So let's look at it from a brand perspective too, because SEO wise, we're doing great, but we just need to figure out where the disconnect is. First thing I'll say though, just from a design standpoint, I'd like the navigation to not be a hamburger menu over here. Think that's terrible design for desktop. For mobile, it's great. Desktop, no way, Jose. We need to have logo and then the pages, right? And that might be a big thing that's happening. The other thing too is it was hard to see because it's black. So there's like a space here that I think, I don't know, people could be missing the menu. So that's number one. That could be what's happening. Maybe people just don't know how to get around or actually like reach out. Um, So I would just have a navigation here with all of the pages. Does that make sense?
yeah, I haven't switched it. Like if you scroll down, it's right underneath the, wait, it's not even there. Oh my God. Okay. Yep. Gonna take note of that.
Yeah, just no hamburger menu at all for desktop. Like only for mobile.
Okay.
That's what I would do. Okay, cool. Let's see. I would probably just for again usability, just so we can see this better, I would like add some opacity here so that it's a little darker. So what I mean by that is if you come here and you go to I think it's effects. If you go opacity 80 or something, and then you have the background be black, it will make those images a little darker. And so they'll technically be see-through, but you'll just see the black, right? So it makes them darker.
Got it.
Um, just so I can see this. Now, because this page is ranking, I really don't want to affect or change anything word wise. Okay. Um, like this is good. Typically what I would say is like switch these, have this be the subheading. But again, because you're already ranking, I don't want to touch it. So, because I don't want to lose that ranking. You're not here for the ordinary. I mean, these look like Florida images. Instead of an image of you, I would probably choose one image that you think really encompasses this brand of like, you're not here for the ordinary. Think epic. I do. Like, what's an epic I do photo? You know?
Yep.
Because if it's you, it doesn't really serve me. I'm not interested in you yet. Like, I want to know how you make the ordinary unordinary.
Got it. Yep.
Also have your buttons do something when I hover over them. You deserve a stress-free I do. Yeah, champagne pop. Yeah, see? Perfect. Button. All about the experience, not a photo shoot. Your elopement can look like this. I feel like this needs to be bigger. These need to be like bigger bullet points. So
Like
have
the
have
being
like
bigger?
have an icon, like a check mark or something, and then have each of these just be bigger.
Okay.
And then you can say like remove this. Oh well, no, I guess that's not bad. Just make this maybe bold and then these not bold, but then an icon. I just feel like it needs to stand out more. Like it's easy to miss all of this really fun stuff.
Okay.
you know,
Yep.
just
So you
professional.
think like putting those suggestions on there isn't a bad
No, I think it matches your brand, which is important because you want people that are going to want to do this stuff anyway. So yes, it totally makes sense.
okay.
And then this all kind of plays into the stress free because like camping, bonfire, s'mores, it's all very like adventurous. Although I guess, you could even change and put this here because that plays into more of this messaging. I don't know. Again, I don't want to mess too much with this page because it is ranking. Right now, I'm just looking at like what's going to speak to your people.
Okay.
Like these photos definitely feel like Florida and it definitely matches the champagne pop. So I guess the only thing I would probably change about this section is maybe consider putting all about the experience, not a photo shoot here. And then just make these with icons or something.
Okay.
I love the testimonial. Those images are great. I love this font.
Thank you.
Very elegant. And this is you. Yeah.
Do you feel like that's too wordy?
No, I mean, you have the fun facts.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a little long. I'd probably delete like one paragraph so that it matches the length of the image, you know? Okay. Have your buttons do something too. Okay, more of that. I would move this up.
Okay.
What exactly? Maybe here. I don't know. Yeah, I would just move that up because that's definitely something that people think about when hiring like an elopement photographer. They're like, oh, but what does eloping actually mean?
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Fill out your inquiry form, jump on a call, understand your needs. I would highlight because these are paragraphs. Again, we want it to be skimmable. So maybe like fill out an inquiry form can be like a little subheading and then the rest of the paragraph. And then you could put prep guides here and then you can put it all together, but
Mm-hmm.
have something that's skimmable because right now it's like, oh, you want me to read this whole paragraph? Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And I'm a very wordy person. So it's
Oh,
kind
there's
of,
nothing wrong with that. I think I would just I want to make it more skimmable, like something that's like, oh, people can just like skim through it real quick and get the info they need.
yeah.
Mm. Are these backlinked? Ooh, make sure you link these.
Okay. Yeah. I have to figure that out because I don't know. Those are all things I got when I first started by just like entering in my photos. So,
You can keep the badge. Who was I talking about earlier? Was it Taylor? You can keep the badge if you can't find the link, because I mean it is still like true, like you were featured, but for SEO too, it's great to have that backlink and you know link them to actually where your work is. Have it open in a new tab. So important. Do not let them leave your site. Okay. Choose an adventure below. Okay. Okay. So that's the end. Yeah, that's all right. Overall, I think your brand makes sense. I think we need a little more of like,
if you look at my pricing page, like that's the hiccup I'm having between like my homepage and my pricing page. I feel like my pricing page for elopements has
so
a
is
lot.
it the elopements page?
Yep.
That's a little confusing to me. I would put pricing
Okay. Okay.
and then have elopements. I don't
Just
know.
be
I need
independent.
to see it first actually before I don't want to misspeak here. Again, I would probably make this white and then just make this a little darker and then navigation at the top.
Okay.
And help ease that planning anxiety. I mean, even with like this wording here, you're like for like such a like, you know, rock and roll, like ready to go type of couple. So that totally matches your brand. And I love like your messaging with it because that's exactly who you're looking to book, right? So that's going to resonate with the right people that obviously you want to work with.
Yeah, that makes me
Which
happy.
also means you're not for everybody. So someone who sees that may be like, I don't know if, you know, Catherine's for me. And that's fine. You want the people that match that anyways, you know? So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, 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 blah. I almost feel like this should be its own section. I mean, there's so many problems you're addressing here
Mm-hmm.
that each of them could be their own section. But because we are on your elopements page, okay, so here's what I'm thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you primarily shoot elopements or do you want to be doing adventure couples stuff?
So yeah, I pretty much have just been doing elopements and couples like engagement sessions, but I'm trying to just do adventure
Great.
elopements.
So then let's run with that. So a lot of this needs to go to your homepage. So
Okay.
um, like even this can go to your homepage. Um, your philosophy should definitely go on your homepage. I would turn these into skimmable bullet points. One thing that I did on my site that I'm actually like really love is this. It's just very straightforward. It's my philosophy and vision. And these are my top 3 photography values. So if you can like formulate those values and put them in like, you know, 3 bullet points, not
Mm-hmm.
just paragraph text, it'll be more skimmable, but your philosophy should be on your homepage. And then if we were to make this your pricing page, we talk
Mm-hmm.
about the value of your packages. So that's the difference. We're still keeping a lot of the brand message. It's just now we're talking about packages, right? So
If you go down, I do have my packages. I don't,
yeah,
yeah,
like this, perfect. Great. Because now we're addressing that problem of you're only getting inquiries for 1 to 2 hours.
I just added that because I was
Yes.
like, man, this is too
Okay.
much. I don't
Great.
think I'm
So
getting
you
it.
saw the problem and now you're addressing it. And that's exactly what we do. We're like, this is something I want to address because this is something I talk a lot about in consultation meetings, you know, and that's where you add it to your website and you talk about it. Yeah. Um, yeah, all of this is great. Make these bigger,
Okay.
skimmable, right? Bullet points, you know, just easier to read. I think this section's a little too long
Okay.
from a design standpoint, but I would make the thing stand out like these a little more.
Okay.
If this is an aesthetic break, then add some type of like text here. I'm not a huge fan of just having like one image as a break
Okay.
thing serving. I don't know, sometimes it doesn't look nice. Just another client, Florida. I would move this to the very top.
Okay.
You're not just another client in Florida eloping. And I would probably reword this to be like, to me, you're not just another couple eloping in Florida.
Okay.
And then have this be a subheading underneath that stands out. Your story means something to me, and have that
Mm.
like here, you know, because that's a huge value. Okay, and then and this should probably go up too. So, all right, hang on, let's start over. So, um, this should go on your homepage.
Okay.
The testimonials are great, just have them scattered throughout. Your philosophy can stay here, but I would also put it on your homepage.
Okay.
This probably doesn't need to be on your pack. If this is going to be your packages page, then it doesn't need to be here, which I would recommend. I would make this a pricing page and have everything all about elopements on your homepage.
Okay.
Make this more about like elopement packages, how that all works, the value behind what you bring in each package. Also, think about like what's your differentiator. So if most Florida elopements, you know, are only an hour long, let's really play into how you are specialized in doing full day Florida elopements and then talk about what that actually looks like, you know?
I've been kind of thinking about adding like example timelines.
Yeah, you totally can. And actually, I
Okay.
would Because it removes that uncertainty, and it also shows like you've done this before, you know how to make it happen. But it gives them also the possibility to dream of what their wedding day could look like, because maybe they have that stipulation of elopements are only an hour. We only need like photos of our ceremony and at the church, and then we're done. And it's like, no, actually, let's have fun. Let's go do activities. Here are some fun activities we can do. Here's an example of that activity. Play into that,
Mm-hmm.
As other Florida elopement photographers, I mean, let's just look at the competition. I don't know what they're saying, but where's the gap? Is there a gap in like people don't do full day elopements?
Mm-hmm. There's not that many
That's what
of.
I mean. So there's a gap there. There could be in demand there too. I would just make sure there's also that demand. Um, but yeah, talk about that. Okay, yeah, so that needs to go up. This, I don't know. Actually, that's probably fine. I don't know. Also, I feel like this section's a little too long again.
Okay.
4 hour. And then here's the other thing. If your brand is gonna be all day Florida elopements, then you shouldn't be starting at 4 hours. You should be starting at like 8 hours or like 6 hours. But you need to talk about that why we need 6 hours. Why do I need 8 hours on my wedding day? Have a whole section that's like you have your note, you have this section that's like what your elopement shouldn't be an hour or deserves more than an hour. Have another section that says, what does an 8 hour elopement day in Florida look like? And then talk about it. But wait, you have no idea what you're doing. But wait, you have no idea. I would probably reword this
Okay.
and say, if you have no idea what you're doing, if you feel awkward, because it doesn't quite flow.
Okay.
Just add if. Okay, and then you had your starting price where? Here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I would just redesign this section. It just feels too long, and I might have missed that. So you could be losing people that don't see that, and they're like, wait, where's the pricing?
Do you feel like I should have this section, like this black section, and that blue section that we were looking at that was also long? Like, is that too much on one
No, no,
page?
no. This is good because you're talking about the value of each package. Well, actually, I need to see. Yeah, actually, maybe a little redundant.
Right? That's what I'm kind of thinking. I'm like, maybe it's just too much.
Yeah, this section may be a little too much. Not too much, but I think it's redundant at this point. You don't want
Mhm.
people getting mad to be like, where is the pricing? And they're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Right.
I would just don't delete the section, just hide it for now and let's see maybe and do some research. This is also really important. Anytime you make a change on your website, use tools like Google Analytics and Hotjar to see what people are actually doing, because then that gives us the data and the research and we're not just like going in blind. So I think Hotjar might have a free trial if you haven't used it, but it basically screen records what people are doing on your site and it's very insightful. So
Okay.
definitely do that.
Cool.
Also see where you lost people too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of the messaging here is really great. You really nailed the brand, and all of the messaging, even the form at the bottom is fine. I think all of that's great. I would just change this to be your pricing page, and then you can keep the couples page. I think that's fine because if you're still booking the adventure couples, that's fine. And then you put the pricing for the adventure sessions here, but you change this to be like
Mm-hmm. Pricing.
pricing because everything else is going to be all about elopements.
Mm-hmm.
Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Cool. Do you have any questions? How do you feel?
I feel like I have some more homework, but it was good input because I am still trying to figure out how to do like the multi-hour and just getting some feedback on how I can maybe like
I
showcase
think
that.
we just need to speak into it more. So like what is the value behind like what can we do? So like one of the biggest things I hear is like, well, what do we do for 8 hours? Like on
Mhm.
an elopement day because we're just getting married. And that's where you build it out, build the dream. Like, well, this is what we can do. Like you were saying here, talk about that more.
Mhm.
Give examples if you have them. And if you don't, go get styled shoots and have that example, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually just did a styled shoot for the camping, the
Great. Oh my
bonfire
gosh.
lit.
Seriously, use that. Use that content. Be perfect.
Yes.
But love that you're showing up for this. That's fantastic. Props to you. Round of applause for Catherine. Um,
Thank you so much.
all right, let's look at the chat. Okay. Jolene is asking, would you remind me when the rest of your course is going up? Okay, so yes. The core I almost said the court. The course I'm planning to have done before June. So it should be done by end of May latest. I'm really working to get it out as soon as possible, but also taking in all the feedback that I'm getting and all of the things that you guys want in the course. So day 2 is about to be dropped like within the next day or two. Day 3 will probably be coming in a week or two. And then I plan on having like because it's supposed to be like a 7-day course. The rest of the days will be out at least before June. So if you're in the course, that's what to expect. If you're not in the course, the pre-launch period ends the 31st, which is in like 4 or 5 days. So if you do want to get in for $150, this is kind of like the last shot to do that. And then it's going to be going up to $250 while I still build it out. So just keep that in mind. But I'm loving all of the early adopter feedback. So that's why I wanted to get you guys in first to make sure that the course is like everything you guys need before we release it.
It's really good, Danny, so far. Like, I'm doing quite a few kind of educational things at once, and I have to like, they're all good in their own ways, but yours is so very like, do exactly this. So like, there's
Yes.
no question like, oh, how am I supposed to say? So anyway, it's going really good. I really like
Good.
it.
I'm so glad to hear that. That was my goal. I was like, I really just want to give you guys like a clear action item list of like, do this today. Okay, now do this today.
Mhm.
So that we by the end actually have everything done, right?
Okay,
But I love to hear that. Thank you for sharing.
thank you.
So yeah, so you guys can find the link in the school group if you're not signed up already. Because I have 2 groups here. I have people from the course and also the school group. You can go there or you can just, I'll put it in the chat real quick. I think it's, hang on. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna get it and copy and paste it if you guys want it. And then this will also be posted to the recording of this will be in school group and then also in the course group. And that's all, guys. Thanks for coming. It was good to see all of your beautiful faces. I will see you next month for our Q&A, and then I will also see you for another website critique next month, and we'll just keep it going. I love seeing the progression of your sites. It's very encouraging. Now we just have to keep getting those inquiries, but yeah. Alrighty, y'all. I'll see you later. Have a great Wednesday. Bye.